Hello and welcome back. It's puzzle time with Sudoku Sleuth, and today we're going to be playing Chained. And you can see a young sleuth there, caught in what appears to be some sort of a dungeon here. It's dark, it's gloomy, there are chains everywhere, but somehow he seems to be almost smiling about it, happy about it. Now, I don't know what kind of things Sleuth is into. I can assure you that wouldn't be kind of a happy occasion for me. But maybe it is all part of some sort of grand plan from Sleuth to get behind enemy lines, so to speak, and confront, I guess, whatever criminal organization he's taking down this time. Well, speaking of which, let's take a look at today's Sudoku puzzle that we're meant to be solving, as well as its rule set. So we have Chained by Arbitrary, and you can see just a whole bunch of, well, chains all over the grid. I guess that's sort of the reference to it. Not sure, does that mean cages, I guess? Killer cages and chains? Is that sort of maybe the reference? Who knows? Well, Arbitrary certainly would, given he constructed it. So normal Sudoku rules applies. That means place the digits 1 to 9 once each in every row, in every column. I can't even select a column, every column, and in every 3x3 box. Fairly standard. Then we have the killer cages. Digits within a cage sum to the indicated value. So for example, if this here was a 2, because these two cells have to add up to 9, because that's the 9 that's given in the top left corner, this would have to be a 7. So these two cells add up to 9, 9 again, 11, and the rest of it is hopefully fairly self-explanatory. Next, we also have palindromes. That's really what all these grey chains are. Digits along lines read the same forwards and backwards. So this 2 that I've already written in here would mean that the other side of it, so that it can read the same forwards and backwards, must be a 2. This 7 in here would have to be the same in here with a 7. Kind of nonsense in a killer cage of 7, because that would mean that's a 0. That is certainly nonsense. But nevertheless, it gives you an idea of how the palindromes would work. This 7 would be here, this 0 would be there. And then this center digit, I guess, doesn't have to repeat because, you know, even if I go for a 1 in here, that's still 701, 07, 701, 07. So that's the palindromes as well. And that is all the rules. Not a lot of clues, not a lot of variant rules. Hopefully you guys already have a bit of an inclination on how to actually start this and solve it. I haven't got a clue, which is a bit disconcerting if I'm honest. Only thing left to say is, if you want to play along, if you want to help unchain Sleuth, get him out of this particular set of killer cages, link will be in the description down below as usual for you to play along. And with that said, I'm going to restart the clock, see how I get on. So yeah, I really haven't got a clue where to go. So my attention is gravitating towards either the smallest cages, which would be the 7 and the 9s, or potentially more the 14s. And the reason the 14s is interesting is they can only be done one of 2 ways. So these are, all 4 of them, 5, 6, 8, 9. Essentially 2 cells to add up to 14. One option is 5, 9. One option is 6, 8. And this is somewhat interesting because clearly whatever these 2 cells are, they're in here. I'm not really sure I get the significance of that, if I'm honest. Particularly if it's a 5 or 6. What does that mean? I think it puts a lot of tension on it. I'm not sure if it breaks. I may have to sort of just illustrate this. So if this is 5 or 6, that would be 5 or 6. And then that would have to be 5 or 6. So I can't have a double 5, 6 in here. Let me show you. So if this is 8, 9, gone, and this is a 5, 6 pair, that would mean that this is a 5, 6 pair. The unfortunate part, of course, is that with the 11, these would have to be 5, 6, and then I end up with a quadruple of 5, 6s. So 1 5, 6 on here is fine. Let me go with, just for the sake of argument, 5, 9, and then 8, 6. That might be okay, because that 5 would be a 5 in here. That would be 6 in here. That 8 would be an 8 there, and then that would be fine. That would be a 3. So at most, one of these is 5 or 6. It doesn't have to be any of them, does it? I don't think it does. So if I do something totally different, such as 9 and 8, I'll be honest, I'm not sure I see any restrictions with that. That would be 2, that would be 3. And that would be 6 and, oh, the 12 cage. I haven't thought about that. And I'm sorry, I'm sort of messing around, just trying to get a sense of how this all works, because I really don't seem to have a bit of a clue. Right. This is now a lot clearer. So remember I said there can only be one of 5 or 6 in here, because otherwise it breaks the 11 cages. The other part that is also true, and I don't know, I didn't see that earlier until I plugged in some numbers, is the 6 cannot be on this side. Because whichever one is a 6 in here, it would be a 6 inside the 12 cage, which can only go with another 6 to add up to 12. Long way of saying is that the 6 is definitely on this side, and therefore as a result the 5 is definitely on that side. So keep going with this. 6 is in here because of the palindrome, joint with a 5. Again, the 5 because of the palindrome has to be in here, joint with a 7. The 7 now has to be inside the 12 cage, and therefore joint with a 5. That goes all the way. Goodness, that 5 is now repeated because of the palindrome with a 6. The 6 is 1, 2, 3. Yep, repeated into the 10 cage, which repeats into the 4 cage, which repeats into the 11 cage, into this 11 cage, again, to make sure that one of these adds up to 11. And then lastly into the 9 cage, and then lastly into the 7 cage to add up to 9. Back into the 7, and goodness me, that actually is going to reflect all the way back. Wow. Let's go for it. So this is now, we know that there's a 2 in here, therefore this is a 2-5 pair. That's another 2-5 pair. Therefore this is a 4-7 pair. That's a 4-7 pair in here as well, which makes this, very interestingly, also a 4-7 pair because it's 11. That's a 4-7 pair. That's a 6-3 pair to add up to 10. This is now a 6-3 pair. To add up to 11, that would be 5 and 8. 5 and 8 in here would make 4 and 7. This is a very clever puzzle. 4 and 7 again. To add up to 12, that would be 5 and 8, yeah. And then that's 5 and 8. And therefore this is 6 and 9 to make it 14. 6 will go with the 8, 5 will go with the 9. 6 and 9 in here will go with 2 and 5. Wow. And then of course we've got a whole bunch of things that will start to help us to actually place some digits, such as 2-5 pair, looking at an 8-5. That is an 8, that is a 5, that is a 6, that is a 9. And we'll just unwind the whole lot now. So 9 can only be with a 2, can only be with a 5. This is now known in terms of the order. This is 5, this is 8, therefore this is 7, this is 4, this is 7, this is 4, this is the 5 and 8, the 5 and 8 again. That doesn't help me with my 4-7 here, it doesn't matter. This is the 3 and 6, 6 and 3, 7 and 4, 7 and 4, 7 and 4, 4 and 7, and then suddenly we've basically done all of these palindromes. It's just incredible. And yeah, this is center digits. These two are the same. This is a center digit. This is a center digit. So the reason I'm sort of interested in these is, or not interested in these, is that they really have no significance anymore. Because this is an odd length palindrome, this cell here can basically be literally anything. These two, however, are slightly more interesting in that they have to be the same, and therefore they can't be 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, or 4. They are from 1, 2, or 3. I know one of these is a 2. Just Sudoku. That's as far as I could take it. So we're clearly on to classic Sudoku now. Rest of this, for example, I've got, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 all in this box. These are all going to be 1, 2, 3. This is 1 or 3. This is 1, 2, or 3. Maybe I'm not quite getting the significance of this just yet. These 3, that's a triplet that we should be able to at least pencil mark in. That is 1, 8, and 9. You can see the 8s gives me an 8. This is 1, 9. I guess that would be 1, 3, 9 to complete the row. We have a digit in here other than another 1, 9. In fact, that's not a 1, 9. That's a 9 looking at a 1, looking at a 9. This is a 1, 3 pair. This 1, 3 means there's another 1, 3 in here. I'll figure out what that means in a second. Completing the rows, I need another 1, 2, 3 and a 9. Interesting that I can't place that. What about this one? Can I place it? Yes, I can place the 6, and I can therefore place or write in a 2. This is therefore 1, 3, 9. We know that this is not a 3 because of this 3. And that's as far as it goes. We know that the 6 in here is in one of 2 cells. All the rest of this is written. What about 2, 5, 4, 7? Everything again is in here except for the 2. This digit, whatever it is again, means that there's another 1, 3. So essentially I have these 2 are in here and also in there. Not getting the significance of it, but maybe I will. Completing this column, we know that there's a 2 between these cells. There's 1, 3 in here. There'll be another 1, 3 plus another 2 more digits, which is a 7, which can be written in. It's a 7, and a 4, which isn't here. That's the 4. This is 1, 3, and then to complete this box, that's an 8. So I need another 1, 3, and a 6 and 9. Well, these palindromes really useless. So this is just pure Sudoku now. It's purely about spotting something that just brings it all together. And I admit I'm not necessarily seeing it. 4s, 5 I can just write in here. Presumably I can do all the 5s now. Yes, that's the last 5. 7s look... no. 7 is in one of 2 places. That isn't the right place. 7 is in one of 2 places in here. 7 is one of 2 places in this box. That's as far as I could take it. 2. You can see it's none of these. Not here because of these pairs of 2s. It's restricted to one of these 2 cells. Yeah, I'm not sure I'm quite getting where it's going. It was a very clever start. I mean, so clever that I just needed to plug in some numbers to be able to even see it, but I'm kind of wondering if there's more clever things that are happening that I'm not seeing, such as row 3, where does the 2 go? That's the only place for it. Clearly can't be any of these cells because of this 2. That means there's another 1, 3 in here, plus 8, plus 9. That can't be the 8 or 9. That is a 3 because of this 1. That gives me 1. These are now an 8, 9 pair. This is now a 1, 6 pair. Now the 1 I think is significant. Yeah, none of these are 1. That is a 3. None of these are 3. These 2 have to be the same. Clearly they are the 2 because the 3 can't be repeated, nor can the 1. So that's the 2, that's the 3, that's the 1. That's this debacle sorted. This as well is done. This is now I removed the wrong digits, a 1, 9 pair that is not resolved. And now we're very much now onto just Sudoku. I say just Sudoku, but I think there's kind of no more tricks up this puzzle sleeve. We need 2 more digits, another 8, 9, and a 3, which can only be in here. This is not 8, that's the 9. That's an 8, that's a 9. This 1, 6 is still not resolved. That's okay. We can plug in some numbers. I'm just going to clean all of these corner pencil marks now. I'm not sure I need them. In here, I need 4, 6, and 7. They are all on different rows in the rest of this. So this is not a 6, this is not a 7, and this is not a 4. Then I need 1, 2, and 8. I can write in the 8. And this is a 1, 2 pair. There's another 1 and 6 in here, plus a 9. Not resolved. There's another 1, 6 in here, plus 3 and 8. The 8 I can write in, that's the 8. 3 I can write in, this is 1 or 6. It is actually not resolved either. 6 is in one of 2 cells, not that interesting just yet. Right, so in here, well, that is not a 6. I have another 4, 7, which is not this cell because of the 4, 7 pair. That's 4, 7. That is a 9 that can just be written in. These are not 9s. I can write in a 9 in this box. No, I can't. It's one of 3 cells still. Interesting. These 2 are a 3, 6 pair. That 3 tells me the order. That's the 6. That gives me that resolves all of these. 4, 7, and 6. Resolves this again. That is now the 7. If I trust my pencil marks, that's a 1, that's a 2, that's a 1. I need in here 7 and 9. No. 2 and 9. That's the 2, that's the 9. That's the 1, that's the 9. That 1, 6 is resolved because of this 1, 1, 6. Then I need 1 and 9 in here, and if I'm not making any mistakes, that's the solution for today's puzzle. It's a really, really clever puzzle, Arbitrary. I really didn't get the significance of this placement and geometry until I started to plug in some numbers, and I absolutely loved it. It's just how, a couple of pencil marks just flowed all the way through, then all the way back, and then you just were able to plug in all of these numbers. Just phenomenal. And I guess it makes a lot more sense now about the idea that this is chained. Maybe Arbitrary didn't mean anything about dungeons and chains, but in this case, just a chain that just flowed all the way through. Very clever. Hope that you guys enjoyed the puzzle. Clearly you can see from my praising of it that I absolutely loved it, and you enjoyed the solve as well. We do have some palindromes that we featured on here, which I think really played heavily into sort of how this played out. So take a look at this palindrome playlist that's coming up right next. Bye-bye for now.